What's crackin', and welcome back to Disney Dreamlight Valley. I'm cozyceto, and I'm so happy you're here to join us for another week's voting discussion as we look over all of the incredible snaps that I found while voting on the bigfeels challenge. As always, if you see a snap you recognize, make sure to let us know so we can give credit where credit is due with all of these stunning submissions. I am so excited to look over all of these gorgeous finds with y'all, so grab your snack, kick back, and let's dive right on into it. Of course, we've got to start our week by taking a look at the theme, and this week we had bigfeels on the stage. This challenge was all about our new friends in the valley and channeling our emotions into our creations. With our tags in strong, familiar, inside out, and bracelets, we did find ourselves incredibly limited for options. I know that I would be lying to say that I loved these, but just like every week, we found a way to make them work. I saw some true standouts even with all of this holding us back, and we were still able to see some clear trends emerge through the wide range of designs. Starting off with our popular style options, we saw the few inside-out items available making a very strong appearance. These included the likes of those bracelets featured in last year's code drop, as well as some newcomers like Sadness's crying glasses, and that lovely Mindworker hat found during the Inside-Out Realm quest. The item trends did not stop there, however, with decor heavily influenced by Inside Out as well. There were lots of memory orbs placed about, lots of the new jukebox, and even the core memory statue as some standout items. I loved to see the vast creativity in the ways that these items were used and showcased in different snaps. While some shots took us outdoors to various biomes, a strong majority of snaps that I saw were created indoors this week, offering even more on-theme decor, including the memory tubes that can only be used inside. Even with many indoor submissions, there were still a lot of variety in them, from joyous occasions to saddened scenes. We also were able to see a really cool trend in posing this week that didn't necessarily channel a specific pose, but rather a specific action. From hidden rabbits to hidden cats, folks really reached for the stars this week, or rather the memory orbs. I loved seeing this visual trick used indoors and out, with this popular pose being a real showstopper no matter how it was created. Now, of course, we can't talk trends without talking about the characters that set them, and this week, joy and sadness took center stage. No matter the emotions being conveyed, many players found a way to work these adorable glowing friends into their scenes and create a lot of mixed emotions across the board. Both of these characters have a dreamy glow that helps to elevate a shot and make it truly pop. So there was lots of fun in how we were able to see them used to their utmost potential. I loved seeing our trends truly take off this week. However, there were some snaps that earned my vote, despite having something about them that may prevent them from performing at their best. Our pack of underdogs starts off with a snap that had a fantastic theme. However, we mentioned pretty regularly how selfies can be a real struggle during voting. I was able to overlook that piece and still have a little giggle since this snap had a fun story behind it. Broccoli would definitely set off our darling disgust, and in this snap, it seems that the effect was truly captured. I loved this funny take, and considering this snap was able to showcase one of our limited 4-tag bracelets, I think it still has the potential to surprise us and get much closer to 4K than other selfies I've seen throughout the week and in the past. While selfies generally aren't my favorite thing to vote on, neither are sticker-splattered snaps. I have consistently avoided voting for snaps that used motifs, as I feel they break the immersion and create a distracting moment in otherwise beautiful scenes. Even still, this snap managed to earn my vote by using the motifs in a way that were tolerable and minimally invasive to the rest of the creation. I believe that this snap would have found much different of a spot in our discussion had it avoided the sticker bombing and stuck to the gorgeous scene underneath those spots. I still felt this scene was really strong and deserved a vote from me though. I loved the scatter of memories in the room, and both joy and sadness are perfectly spot on in their placements and animations. While I'm hoping to see less and less motifs in the future, I do fear that this is the first of many underdogs held back by nothing more than a few unsightly stickers. Last in the pack takes us into the Dream Castle, where I honestly never really suggest folks taking their photos. Even so, this pretty creation managed to make some magic in the castle by utilizing some of the limited time effects brought on by our dear Sadness's quests. These rain clouds only lasted for a short period in the story, however, this was a super creative way to use them, and I loved the outfit here as well as the note of the umbrella. This was creative, and I want to reward that first and foremost. However, I know, and many of you may know, taking snaps in pre-decorated environments will always be risky business. I am definitely hoping that this snap avoids some 3-digit rewards, and I for sure gave it a vote for its unique utilization of this moment in the storyline. I'm not sure that something like this will earn 4K, but I do think that it deserves 1500 or even 2500 based on its creativity and exciting uniqueness. These underdogs were impressive despite their flaws and truly captured creativity in unconventional ways, earning them a moment in the spotlight and one of my votes throughout the week. I love seeing the snaps that may shock us with rewards as much as I love seeing the snaps that I believe are super secure in their 4K spots. With countless gorgeous creations in the pool, I am rather excited to share the ones that stood out above the rest and earned one of this week's snap superlatives. Starting off our winners of the week, we have our best decor champion. This snap brought us outside and captured a magically dreamy area around HQ. I love the notes of symmetry across the screen, with Bing Bong looking lovely on each edge, and the scatter of memories on the ground feeling balanced in both placement and colors. The luminous flower displays help continue that dreamy glow and provide a bright break in that leaf-strewn pathing used underneath. I just love these touches because they create an even glow across the scene, keeping it from being too bright or washing out the rest of the decor. The bubbles were used wonderfully, adding more texture and layering by giving a detailed look to the memory decor and framing the avatar really nicely. Joy and sadness look great here as well, and thanks to that balanced glow mentioned a few moments ago, they stand out in such a perfect way. Also looking pretty perfect, we have our winner of the Supreme Style Award. I love this take on Disgust so freaking much, and it feels like it truly looks just like her. From the makeup to the pose, this shot was a standout. I love the use of the new retro dress and this bobbed hairstyle in a very fitting shade of green. This pose also creates the illusion of a slit in the dress, giving the style some extra flair and fun. The use of different green items came together perfectly, and even Joy and Sadness are looking lovely with this overall design. I find this entire snap to be a nearly perfect portrayal of our sassiest and most stylish emotion, so it feels like the perfect creation to crown as another one of our winners. Next up in our superlative showcase, we have our winner of loveliest lighting. This one channeled fear in such a high fashion and memorable way, creating a stunning purple scene that really provided some absolutely top tier lighting work. I loved so much about this, from the decor to the fashion, and all of it was accentuated by that lovely purple haze that just envelops the scene. This showcase of the memory with Ursula was a gorgeous touch as well, really giving off the energy that the avatar is afraid of our favorite Valley Sea Witch. Every detail in this shot is really made better by the lighting, which is why this snap is being recognized as the best in its category. While fashion, decor, and lighting are all incredibly important, some snaps tell a story that cannot be looked over. That is where our most likely to make you wonder pick comes in. And this week we have a snap that made me shed a few tears. This one beautifully captured the feelings around aging and managed to capture how truly mixed those emotions can be. The complex combination added so much layering, and it tells me the story of someone reflecting on their life. I see nostalgia represented in the capybara, as well as the avatar's outfit, a hint of sadness as one realizes their time left is growing shorter, and even a bit of envy for those who may have much longer to achieve their goals or spend time with their family. While this challenge was big feels, this snap absolutely captured some extremely big and confusing feelings all into one scene, and it deserves all the praise and more for doing it with such creativity and care. I am truly in awe of this one, so I just want to give it an extra moment just of silence to really appreciate what was done. Last but not least, we have our amazing snap of the week. This week's winner is a well-rounded, full-spectrum stunner that captures everything that this challenge was about. I feel overwhelming joy looking over this creation, meaning not only did it capture big feels, but it created some big feels as well. I could not stop smiling, just seeing all of these bright moments across the shot, and even all of those perfectly placed sparkles and fireflies. The details really stand out here, including Bing Bong on the left, and that perfectly placed cake that seems to be one with the memory behind it. This is a stunning display of inside-out influence and joyous emotions, making it the perfect snap of the week for this week's Big Feels voting. I'm just obsessed with all of our winners, but I believe that there were many snaps that had big feels and deserved big wins, so let's take a look at the marvels of this week, and don't forget to let me know if I was lucky enough to see one that you recognize. Those were outstanding, and I am so proud of everyone for taking on this challenge with such creativity and individuality. Even with our tags holding us back, you would never know it by looking at what the community has put forward. These voting discussions are such a joy to share with y'all, and I can't wait for next week's edition as we vote on the Royal for a Week challenge. I'll see you back in the valley soon with more discussions, more chaos, and more amazing finds. Until then, toodles!